सुखा सारिखे पूर्ण वैराग्य ज्ञात से वसिष्ठा परिज्ञान योगेश्वराज से कवि वाल्मीका सारिखा मान्य ऐसा नमस्कार माझा गुरु रामदासा सदा सर्वदा योग तुझा गटावा तुझी कारणी देह माझा पडावा उपेक्षा नको गुणवंता अनंता रघुनायका मागणे हे सियाता. Samartha Ramdas and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, two pillars of Hindavi Swaraj. This is today's topic, about which generally in India, the deliberation will be for some 10 days, every day 2.5 hours, for which I have this whole notes. And today I am asked to talk about it just in an hour or 1.5 hours, I think. So I have to plan a lot. If this is for 10 days, I need not prepare at all because already it is there. But condensing the whole in 1.5 hours, for which today morning I spent, planned, prepared. Let us see how it goes. HinduSwaraj or Hindavi Swaraj. First, let us have a glimpse of it. After that, we will see how these two great souls are the pillars of Hindu Swaraj. Before understanding Hindu Swaraj, we need to understand the word Hindu. This word is a very old word. Greeks and Persians call India as Hindu. Even in Bible, India is called as Hindu. Old Testament I am talking about. Bible calls India as Hindu nation. That's a word used there. And why the word Hindu came, we all popularly know. There are two ways to approach the word Hindu. One way, here we all know. The word Hindu came from Sindhu, right? Sindhu river. And the region in the bank of Sindhu river is Sindhu Desha. And therefore, the word Sindhu came, Sindhu people. And then she becomes he in Persian language. Therefore, it has become Hindu. And there is another way to approach it. That is, in Rigveda, we have a word Hindu, which means a soma plant, and also which means a flow, which means wetting, undi kledane. From Hindu, we can derive this Hindu, India, right? Sindhu is not just one river. Of course, it is a river, Sindhu Nadi. Any river is taken to be Sindhu in India. Therefore, Sapta Sindhus, Hapta Hindus. Sapta Sindhus in Rigveda become Hapta Hindus of Persian culture. They see this as Hapta Hindus. And if you go to the etymological meaning of the word Sindhu, Sindhu is to flow, that's all. Sindhu is dhara, a consistent flow. In fact, in Tamil also it is a flow. Sindhugiradu, they say in Tamil. Sindhudal, it's a flow. And hope you all know, you are familiar with Veera Savarkar. He quotes a shloka to define Hindu. A Sindhu Sindhu Paryanta Yasya Bharata Bhumika Pitrubhuhu Punyabhuschaiva Savai Hinduriti Smrtaha. From Sindhu river to Sindhu Ocean, Hindu Mahasamudra, Indian Ocean, there is a huge region which is called as Bharatam. The one to whom this Bharatam becomes ancestral land, Pitrubhuhu. You may call it as fatherland also, like Germans, Pitrubhuhu. And of course, you can take it as Matrubhuhu also, motherland. Then Punyabhuhu, I don't know how to translate the word Punya. It is the land of Punya. The one to whom it's a land of Punya. One to whom it's a fatherland or motherland or ancestral land. Sabai Hinduriti Sprutaha. He can be called as Hindu. This shloka is quoted by Veera Savarkar. Okay, I am not contented with this geographical definition of the word Hindu, even though it is correct. I am not telling that it is wrong, but it is not enough. With this, the definition cannot get completed. Because, say, Hindus in Indonesia, where they are found? Bali Island. For them, India is not ancestral land. India is neither motherland nor fatherland. Okay. But they are still Hindus. Correct? And several Hindus found in Fiji Island or even in Thailand. Okay, generally they are called as Buddhists. But when we see they live a Hindu way of life in Thailand, they are Hindus in spirit. They all cannot be brought under the fold of this geographical definition. This is my view. So, geographical definition is not enough. And even among the groups of Hindus, various groups of Hindus, there are some groups who don't take India as Punya Bhumi. They may have honor to India, that's a different thing. They don't see any Bhumi as Punya Bhumi. Say, what example we can give? Say, Arya Samaj. Arya Samaj doesn't fix any sacredness to any land. Punya, sacred. Okay. Arya Samaj doesn't see any Arya Samaj person doesn't see any particular region as a sacred land. That is their belief. Okay. That's their understanding. So for him, India may not be a Punya Bhumi. He may honor it as motherland or fatherland or ancestral land. He may take pride on India, that's a different thing. He may not see India as a Punya Bhumi. Because he doesn't associate any Bhumi to be with any Bhumi, he doesn't associate sacredness. But you can't call Arya Samajin as anti-Hindu or non-Hindu. In fact, Dr. Radhakrishnan rightly says the founder of Arya Samaj, Dayanand Saraswati, to be the architect of modern Indian Renaissance. Okay, it's not an exaggeration to call him in that way. Such vital persons cannot be ignored. Please understand. So, some groups may not come under, they call themselves as Hindus. They are proud to be Hindus. Arya Samajins are proud to be Hindus. And in fact, if a reversion is needed, hope that you understand reversion. If some other religious person wants to come into Hindu religion, Hindu Dharma, the easiest way is to come through Arya Samaj. That reversion method, which they call as Shuddhi, okay, this is in Arya Samaj. Whether it is there in other groups or not, definitely it is there in Arya Samaj. Such persons belonging to Arya Samaj who take pride in this religion, you can't ignore them. You can't say that Arya Samaj people are not Hindus. Okay. They may not consider Bharat as Punya Bhumi. Please understand. Or the people belonging to Bali Island don't consider India as their Pitrubhumi. Then how these guys can come under the fold of Hindu religion if you are satisfied with a geographical definition of Hindu Dharma? Therefore, we should not get contented with this geographical definition. We should go ahead. We need a conceptual definition for Hindu Dharma. It is. We do have a conceptual definition for Hindu Dharma. Before going to the definition, let us see the definition of the word Hindu in Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution doesn't define the word Hindu. It doesn't define, it cannot define for several reasons. But at least it says to whom Hindu Marriage Act is applicable. So that becomes a definition of the word Hindu. That's all. So indirectly it hints the definition. And it is almost closer to Veer Savarkar's definition, even though it is not geographical. Even though it is not geographical. What's the definition, or what to whom Hindu Marriage Act is applicable in Indian Constitution? Yes. Based on that, if you derive the definition, to whom it is applicable, it is not applicable to, Indian Constitution says, Hindu Marriage Act is not applicable to Christians, Muslims and Jews. This is what it says. From this you derive the definition, because having something in their mind, the lawmakers, probably Dr. Ambedkar, must have told us to whom it is not applicable. Correct? So what is there in Ambedkar's mind? If you go through it, we can understand. Hindu is he or she who is not a Christian, not a Muslim and not a Jew. This can be a definition. This can be a neti neti tyadesaha. Okay. Indicating Brahman by telling what is not Brahman is the Upanishadic method. In the same way, to indicate the meaning of the word Hindu, you show what is not Hindu. To show what is not Hindu, this is a very interesting method. One who is not a Muslim or not a Christian, not a Jew is a Hindu. Interesting. It may look funny, ridiculous. It may look foolish, but it has a message. It has its own depth, highly matured definition it is. Okay. Let me show how it is mature. Okay. Again, let us further explore what is the word Hindu? With the word Hindu, Westerners added a suffix. What is that suffix? Ism. Hinduism. The word Hindu is very old, maybe 2300 years old, minimum. Even before that, the word Hindu was existing. Okay. But with that, this suffix ism was added when the Westerners came here. They wanted to convey something through this, and they did not have a great, what to say, notion towards this religion. That is why the word suffix ism is added. Ism is not a wonderful expression. See, regarding Christianity, ism is not added. What is added? It is added. Christianity. Okay. It is more universal than ism, generally in English expressions. I don't want to go into it because I don't have time. Humanity, Christianity. Okay, Westerners saw this Christian faith as Christianity, the Hindu faith as Hinduism. This is interesting. Coming back to the point, when you go and meet several Hindus in search of some definition of Hinduism, first of all, before going to the definition of Hindu religion or Hindu Dharma, what is the definition of definition? Let us first define definition. Then we will see the definition of this Hindu Dharma. There can be so many varieties, so many diversities. Definition should definitely show the common spirit of all those varieties. Please understand. Then only it can be called as a definition. If you move with Hindus, the question comes, is there anything common? Hindus have different kinds of faiths, different kinds of worship. Different, I think such kind of multiplicity can never be seen anywhere in the world, that which is found in Hindus. Hindus have to learn newly so many things about their own religion, Hinduism. I don't know. Even I don't know. I am taken to be a Hindu scholar. For all these years, I am studying Hinduism. Okay. But every day I learn something new. Say, I came to this temple. Just before some 10 minutes, I learned something new about Hinduism. What I learned? When I came here and have darshan of Rama and Krishna, nearby this Krishna, a woman is sitting and she is reading Ramayana. And they say she is a very great saint. Her name is Shivaji, I think, right? Shivaji. This is new to me. Before some half an hour, I did not know that. And I saw that Shivaji and clasped my hands. Okay, that saint is sitting here, woman saint. Okay. I never knew about Shivaji before some 20 minutes. So how? We are learning newly a lot in Hindu Dharma. Such varieties exist. Say, someone to learn what is Hindu Dharma goes to Tirumala, Tirupati. He sees there a huge function, celebration. Millions are coming to have darshan of Lord Venkateswara. If he is a Westerner, he will understand this Venkateswara must be Hinduism. And worshipping this idol must be Hinduism. Then that Westerner goes to Orissa, Jagannath, Puri. There he sees some other thing, extending the hands, inviting all, with a huge round eyes. Some wooden idol is standing with its sister, and they say this is God. Thousands of people go there and they worship. And this is Hinduism. Huh? Those Venkateswara people will not come here? No, they will come. They come here also, and this Orissa people also go there. Okay. It doesn't stop here. The great, I think his name is Ranjit Singh, Punjab Kesari. Am I right? Punjab Kesari is Ranjit Singh? Any idea? Yeah. He offered ornaments to Puri Jagannath. Okay. Fine. Okay, then you come to Maharashtra. Ashada Kartika. Millions are walking, singing various songs. Tukaram, Namdev. Thousands walk. And we go to Pandharpur. An idol is standing with the hands in hips. In Tadasana, Samacharana Sarojam, Sandra Nilam Budabam, Jagana Nihita Panim Mandanam Mandananam. Okay, this is Panduranga, they say. And this Westerner asks, what is this Panduranga? What do you mean by Panduranga? This is God. Hey, I thought God is something in Jagannath. The same Jagannath is standing here. This is also, Panduranga and Jagannath are one and same. He may say, I don't understand. You may not understand. You should get habituated to it. And this is our culture, multiplicity of this culture. It goes on and on and on. Every day you learn something new. Like what is that? Sri Bhai. Okay. You learn so many new things. And so many new aspects of worship. Multiplicity of worship. Pluralistic approach. It never ends at all. Like Mother Nature. Is there any end for this Mother Nature? This is Anadi Ananta, finished. It's beginningless and endless. The same way, the stream of Hindu Dharma is beginningless and endless. It goes on and on and on. This is interesting. So now comes a question, is there anything common in this Hindu culture so that we can take it to be the definition of the whole of Hinduism? Because I said definition is to find out the common spirit of all varieties. Please understand. So can we find something common in this? This question can come. So many common things are there. Of course, Rama himself is common. Rama is pan-Indian. You go to Uttarakhand or Uttaranchal or Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh or Tamil Nadu or Punjab or Kashmir. Everywhere you can see Rama and Ramayana. Shiva is common. Krishna is common. Devi is common. Shakti Pita everywhere. All these are common. Among scriptures, Vedas are common. Throughout India, in all places, you have Vedas. And it is told that all these multiplicities are none other than the interpretations of the Vedas. So the Veda is common. And Mother Cow is common. Mother Cow. People get united in the name of Rama. This is what we saw. When Gandhi fought for freedom, Raghupati Raghav Rajaram he took. Therefore, people got united. Even in the context of Rama Janmabhoomi, the fight which happened, whether you accept it as right or wrong, one fact remains. Millions got united with the name of Rama. Nobody can deny that. And interestingly, the significance which Ram Nam has, the same significance Mother Cow has. The first independence war, generally which is called a Sipai Mutiny. This first independence war happened through mother cow. These are the unifying factors of several crores of people here. Balagangadhara Tilak made Ganesha the unifying factor. Probably Tilak must have seen Varkari and designed this Ganesha. Ganesh Chaturthi was once personal. In everybody's house they had Ganesha. Hindus had Ganesha in clay, and they will finally after puja he will enter into the well of their own house. But Tilak made huge Ganesha. Okay. And this Ganesha Chaturthi Tilak brought us a public function everywhere in Maharashtra, and now it is pan-Indian. Ganesh Chaturthi was always pan-Indian, that's a different thing. But making it as a public function is the Balagangadhara Tilak's contribution. Okay. Why he made it? By this national spirit, Hindu Jagrati came. Ganesha is again pan-Indian, pan-Hindu. Okay. So many unifying factors are there, no doubt. Not only with gods, but also with scriptures like Ramayana, Veda. Not only with scriptures, but also with practices. With practices, rituals, customs. Say, Surya Sankranti is a pan-Indian celebration. Am I right? The whole of India is celebrating Surya Sankranti. Do you know what is the name of Surya Sankranti in Tamil? Any Tamilian? Yes, Pongal. Who's it? Raise your hand. Yeah, Pongal. Pongal. Why it is called as Pongal? Because Pongal is a very nice dish which is cooked and offered to some god, and we take as prasada. Therefore, the celebration itself is called as Pongal by its prasada. Okay. Once a boy studying in our Gurukula in Bangalore said, I want leave. I want to go to my native Siddharthanagar, Nepal. For khichdi, he said. I didn't understand. Khichdi? For khichdi? I asked. Yes, khichdi is a function. I'm not talking about food khichdi. Khichdi is a function, he said. What is that function? It's a very huge celebration in Nepal. Khichdi, he said. Then I came to know in Tamil Nadu, that which is called as Pongal is called as khichdi in Nepal. And in fact, the food khichdi and Pongal are one and same. And that function is called as Pongal in Tamil Nadu. The same function is called as khichdi in Nepal. Okay, so many unifying factors in Hindu Dharma. So many unifying factors are there, no doubt. But we should not get contented again with these unifying factors alone. I want to hit the point in search of the core of Hindu Dharma. We need a definition by which we can interpret anything and everything in Hindu Dharma. Is there any such kind of definition found for Hindu Dharma? That's a very important question. Anyhow, Hindu Dharma, I prefer to call it as Hindu Dharma. Generally, it is also called as Hinduism. Okay. This Hindu Dharma is taken to be a religion, right? Someone asked me, is it a religion or not? Some people say it's not a religion at all, it's a way of life. All those things are there. Some others say, no, it is a religion. All these things are there. So these kinds of discussions are going on. Therefore, someone asked me, is Hinduism a religion? To know that, I need the definition of religion first. Without defining religion, how can you judge Hinduism is religion or not? So, in what way we can define religion? A very important question. Then we need again to search for some common factor, some common spirit of all religions. Christianity is a religion, right? Islam is a religion, right? Why Christianity and Islam are called as religions? Why physics is not called as a religion? Why communism is not called as a religion? Why chemistry or any language is not called as a religion? If you ask this question, then peripherally we will come to a conclusion that religion has something to do with God. There is a wonderful definition for religion in somewhere I read it. I think in Australian constitution. I may be wrong, but that's my remembrance. Religion is a connection between an individual with God. If this is the definition of religion, then Buddhism cannot be called as a religion, because Buddhism doesn't have a creator. Jainism cannot be called as a religion because Jainism again doesn't have a creator. Religion is a connection between individual and the creator God. Okay. Jainism may worship their own founders as gods. That's a different thing. That is Devata, not a creator, ultimate creator. Jainism doesn't have an ultimate creator, and Buddhism also doesn't have. Buddhism doesn't accept anything as permanent. It rejects all not rejects. It calls everything as impermanent. Okay. It never accepts permanence at all, which means it doesn't accept creator. That's it. This has to be understood by us. So, Buddhism or Jainism have no creator at all, have no concept of creator at all. In Hindu Dharma also, in Hinduism also, say, there are several schools of thoughts like Charvaka, you can tell, those who have accepted the Veda, even among them, like Sankhya. Sankhya has two schools, one atheistic school, another one theistic school. Atheistic school of Sankhya, atheistic school of Nyaya, atheistic school of Mimamsa doesn't accept the creator, yet they continue to be Hindus. Therefore, under the definition, what's that? Religion is a connection between God and the individual. Under this definition, Western religions can come. Eastern religions fail to come. Okay. So even now, there are staunch Hindus who continue to be atheists. This can happen only in Hinduism. Okay. Say, Arun Shori is an atheist. He doesn't accept God if you go through his books. But he is a staunch Hindu. He is a Hindutva person. You may be surprised. Savarkar is an atheist. But he is a Hindutva person. I know several persons like this. This is not new. This is not a new fashion. Prabhakara was an atheist. Prabhakara. Mimamsa Acharya was an atheist. I can give you a list of atheists who were Orthodox Hindus, continue to be atheists, or atheists continuing Hinduism. This is possible, to my knowledge, only in Hinduism. Okay. It's a very interesting thing. This cannot happen with Christianity or Islam. That is why I think this Tamilian atheists, they continue to be Hindus. Coming back to the point, religion, yeah. So we need another definition for religion. Okay. We are not contented with the popular definition, that which is related to God. We need another definition for religion in which we can accommodate Buddhism or Jainism, in which we can accommodate atheistic schools of Hinduism. So what I feel, what I see is, all religions in the world have two concepts. One heaven, another one hell. Okay. So can we have the definition of religion as something to do with heaven and hell? Heaven and hell are common in all religions. Okay. Religion is that which prescribes the way to heaven, which prohibits the way to hell. If you bring this as a definition of religion, based on this definition, you can define every religion of the world. This is my own view. How? Let me ask this question. What is the way to heaven in Christianity? The answer of this question has to be the definition of Christianity. What is the way to heaven in Islam? The answer has to be the definition of Islam. What is the way to heaven in Hindu Dharma or Hinduism? The answer has to be the definition of Hinduism. Please understand. Same with everything. What is the way to heaven in Buddhism or Jainism? That is how it goes. And regarding Abrahamic faiths or religions, we have these two concepts, heaven and hell. Regarding Eastern religions like Buddhism or Jainism or Hinduism, we have three concepts: heaven, hell, and yes, very good, moksha. I don't know how to translate this moksha. Can be liberation. Okay, liberation. So, after few minutes, let us see what is moksha. Now let us get confined to this heaven and hell to derive a definition. Who goes to hell in Christianity and who goes to heaven in Christian faith? Answer is obvious. Answer is obvious. What's the answer? A true Christian goes to heaven in Christianity. Others go to hell. This is the answer. And again, answer is not clear. Next question will come. Who is a true Christian? Who is a true Christian? The answer depends upon the groups and the sects of that religion. One group may say, one who sincerely comes to the church every Sunday and repents in front of the priest is a true Christian. Another group may say, priest is not at all required. You repent in front of Jesus directly. It is a relationship of you and Jesus. That's enough. Okay. By that you become a true Christian. Like that, to my knowledge, which is very small, I know 96 groups And 96 groups have 96 definitions to be a Christian. And in their belief, okay, Christian, a true Christian alone can go to heaven, which means that group goes to heaven. Please understand this. What about others? Answer is obvious, I need not tell. And here, heaven and hell are permanent. You have only one life, this life, maximum 100 years, in which you need to choose either the path of heaven or the path of hell. You choose the path of heaven, that is Christianity, then you will definitely go to heaven. Okay. Based on some non-verifiable truth. Okay. Christianity leads to heaven is a non-verifiable truth. Okay. Because only after death we will know if we are going to exist after death. We will know whether we go to heaven or not after getting baptized. Correct? Otherwise, it's non-verifiable. Based on some non-verifiable truth, you accept some faith, and having that faith, you further move towards heaven. And it has another faith, all others will be damned. There is a word damn in English. Hope that you understand the meaning of the word damn. Without understanding the meaning of the word damn, we use the word normally. We use the word. You check the meaning of that word. Damn, D-I-M-N. Damn means putting you in eternal hell. That's the meaning. Damn it, we say. Correct? It's an English expression. Damn it. The word damn means taking you to eternal hell. Any non-believer's place. That's the thing. And the statement is like that. Those who are not with me are against me. Finished. Okay. You take, see, then if you have to define Islam, what can be the definition? Yes, one who sincerely follows Islam go to eternal heaven, and others are damned. Following truly Islam means following 5 elements of Islam. What are the 5 elements of Islam? Accepting Allah as only God, and Muhammad is his last prophet. Doing namaz every day. Observing Ramadan, fasting every year. Once in a life, going to Hajj. 5th one, serving the poor. These are the 5 elements of Islam. And one who sincerely follows these 5 elements alone go to heaven. So, definition of Islam, Islam is that which prescribes heaven for these 5 elements of it. Correct? What about others? Others, according to the belief, go to the eternal hell. That's the idea. And if you ask this question, if others are virtuous, if this question comes, if others are virtuous, say Mahatma Gandhi is virtuous, and he loves Jesus Christ, what will happen to him? Since he is not baptized, since he doesn't believe that his sins are, what to say, he doesn't accept a particular deity as a savior to save him from sins, he cannot enter into heaven. Okay. It is not only Gandhi, to anyone who he can be an embodiment of virtues. Okay. He can be very good person, very kind. Of course, serving poor is one of the 5 elements in Islam. Yes, one can serve poor a lot, but if he doesn't accept Allah as only God, if he doesn't perform namaz, then he will be damned. He'll be taken to the eternal hell. This is the idea in Islam. Okay. Now let us see, based on this concept of heaven and hell, can we derive a definition for Hinduism, Hindu Dharma? Unless we understand what is Hindu, we can't understand HinduSwaraj. That is why I am building this. I don't know whether I will have time to show how Shivaji and Samartha Ramdas are pillars. I must. But before that, you need to understand its significance. Without understanding what is Hindu, then how will you understand HinduSwaraj? Then how will you understand how they are pillars? We should be very clear regarding the words which we use. Otherwise, we should not use the jargons. Regarding the word Hindu or Hindu culture or Hindu Dharma, who attains heaven and who attains hell? Simple answer is one who does punya attains heaven. One who does papa attains hell. And what is punya? What is papa? There is a very simple shloka. Paropakaraha punyaya papaya parapidanam. Okay. Paropakaraha punyaya. Punya is paropakar, helping others, serving others. Papa is hurting others. Okay. So if you hurt others, you go to hell. If you serve others, you go to heaven. Is the concept found in Hindu Dharma. Okay. You go to any Tom, Dick or Harry in Hinduism, some autovalla, some rickshawala, and ask this question. Who goes to hell? Who goes to heaven? He may give you a generic answer. One who does punya goes to heaven. One who does papa goes to hell. Give me some example for punya if you ask this question. Give me some example for papa. Then he will come to this. Of course, he may tell going to temple is a punya. He may tell going to temple is a punya. With that, definitely he has this also, like serving poor or helping others. Okay. 2 things are taken to be punyas in Hindu Dharma. 2 things. One is ishta, another one is purta. These are punyas in Hindu Dharma. And apart from these 2, nothing is punya. Ishta means worship and ritual. Purta means service to the beings, not only to humans, but also to animals and birds, but also to plants. This is called as purta. Okay. So these 2 can fetch, am I right? These 2 can bring heaven. And papa, hurting others is papa. That can take us to hell. This is the idea conveyed in Hindu Dharma. Hindus may belong to different kinds of faiths and denominations and traditions. One may tell Shiva is the greatest god. Another may tell, no, Vishnu is the greatest god. Even in their gods, they have differences. And another may tell Shiva and Vishnu are one. It's a very complex religion. Another person may tell, to me, Vishnu is the greatest god, but I come to Shiva temple too. If you ask how, because Shiva is a devotee of Vishnu. Tulsidas may tell like this. And another Shaivite, he may say, Shiva is the greatest god, but I come to Vishnu temple too. Why? Because Vishnu is a very great devotee of Shiva. All these things are there in Hinduism. You know, Devi is none other than sister of Mahavishnu and wife of Shiva. Shiva's wife herself is called as Vaishnavi. Okay, she herself is called as Vaishnavi. All these things will be found in Hinduism. This is very interesting. Which a person from the external world, probably a Westerner, feels very difficult to comprehend and understand. Okay. For us, in Tamil we call it as Thanni Pattapadu. How to translate it? Can anybody help? For us, this is very casual. We understand it because from birth we are here. We understand this. Okay. And anyhow, having all these varieties, one may be a Shaivite, another may be a Vaishnavite, another may be a Shakta, one may be an Advaitin, another one may be Visishtadvaitin, another may be Dvaitin, Dvaitadvaita, Achintya Beda Beda, another one can belong to Swaminarayan path, another one may go to the ashram of Jalaramji, another one may be a very great Sikhism follower, Sikh Dharma, but all of them have a common faith. What is that? Serving others. Okay, is punya, which can lead to heaven. Hurting others is a papa, leads to hell. And to all of us, neither heaven nor hell is permanent. Because an impermanent action cannot cause a permanent result. Any action has a beginning and end. Its consequence also has to begin and end. Therefore, heaven should begin and heaven should end. Okay, so how long we stay in heaven? It depends upon the services that we have done in this life to others. How long we stay in hell? It depends upon the blunders which we committed, the crimes or blunders which we committed in previous life, hurting others. Okay, this much we know. Again, after experiencing those pains in hell, we come back. The same way, after experiencing the punya's fruits in heaven, we come back. Punyena punyam lokam nayati, papena papam ubhabhyameva manushya lokam. These are the Hindu tenets. Apart from these two, we have a third concept, that is moksha, liberation. Okay. Regarding moksha, different schools of thoughts may describe moksha in different ways. Again, I am going and hitting the core point, which is accepted by all schools of thoughts regarding moksha. Fortunately for us, Patanjali shows the way. Drashtu Swarupe Avasthanam. No school of thought rejects it regarding moksha. path to moksha is purity of heart, chitta shuddhi. Okay, remove all impurities from mind, then mind ceases to exist. You be in yourself. Okay, this Atman. Atman is nothing but the purity in you, the core, the essence, and that is moksha. Swarupe avasthanam. Okay, that is moksha here in any school of thought of Hinduism. Based on that, you may build up so many things like Vaikuntha, Kailasa, so on and so forth. You can talk a lot about various names and the forms of moksha. But basic, the foundation, path to moksha is chitta shuddhi, purity of heart. And by this purity of heart, you transcend your thoughts and mind. Mind and thoughts are material. You shed these materialistic elements, bounds, and adjuncts, and you stay in your purity of self. That is moksha. This cannot be rejected. This is not rejected in any school of Hindu Dharma. Okay, whether it is Advaita or Visishta Advaita, this is common to anybody. So, the Hindu religions, now I deliberately use the plural. Hindu religions, Shaivam, Vaishnavam, or you can join even Buddhism and Jainism, and Sikh Dharma, Vaishnava Dharma. All these things have these three concepts: Swarga, Naraka, and Moksha. Heaven, hell, and liberation. Okay, we all are united in these three concepts: unity and diversity. You may have different faiths, and I may have different faiths, but these fundamental three are united. We all have these fundamental three. Therefore, we can share. We can share. If I build a temple of Rama, okay, here a Sikh can come, and I can go to a Gurudwara, because in both places these ideas are same. Okay, purity of heart leads to moksha is the same thing. The ideas of heaven and hell are the same thing. Therefore, we can share. This is interesting. Okay, this is the unity in diversity here. And this unity can produce n number of diversities. All of a sudden, I can see a new God here, new God in my life, Shima, having the book of Ramayana and sitting there, Shima, some new Devata. I clasp my hands. And someone who comes in from North India, all of a sudden, he may see in South a new God, probably Ayyappa, Dharma Shastra. And he is Dharma Shastra, he stands for Dharma. See how this is wonderfully shared everywhere. All of us are one due to the concept of moksha and paropakara punyaya papaya parapidanam. Because of that, para upakar leads to swarga and parapida leads to hell. We all have this concept. We stand for it, and we have multiple paths. Okay, and this has to be the definition of Hindu Dharma. Okay, then what is Hindu Swaraj or Hindavi Suraj? Okay, let me talk a little on that. This Hindu Dharma, even though it is wonderful, it is universal, okay, it stands for unity in diversity, and it has to be defined as unity in diversity. Even though it's wonderful, it just I'm giving a poetic description. It chooses a region and it dwells there. And that place is called as India. Please understand. India is for Hindu culture. Hindu culture is not for India. India's substance is Hindu culture. Hope that you understand what is substance. India's material cause is Hindu culture. If there is no Hindu culture, there is no India. Okay. I may not be satisfied with the geographical definition of Hindu Dharma. Okay. Hindu Dharma is not geographical, but India can be conceptual. See, it's very subtle. Please understand it. India can be conceptual. I want to see India in a conceptual way, not Hindu Dharma in a geographical way. India, the land, is chosen by Hindu culture to dwell. It's a profound religion, a noble path, noble culture. See, believing that virtuous becomes happy, believing that the wicked will suffer in life, virtuous becomes happy, is a very profound thought. This belief is a profound thought. Instead of believing that my faith holder alone can become happy and others will be damned, believing virtuous becomes happy. This virtuous person, whether he is a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu or an African or an American or anyone in the world, if he is virtuous, he will be happy. And that happiness is called as heaven. It's a profound thought. It has to exist, and this only can be contributive to pluralism, diversity, which is very much needed to us. Only diversity and pluralism reflect the mother nature here. Okay. So, it needs a region to flourish. Judaism, Jews feel that Judaism needs a region to flourish. Am I correct? Am I right? Then came Israel. In the same way, there are Christian nations. These nations are called as Christian nations because Christians feel a need for a region for Christianity to flourish. They have every right to feel that. Say, Australia is a Christian nation. Am I right? And they want a region in which they want to flourish. They establish Christianity. Like that, Buddhism, for example, Sri Lanka is a Buddhist nation. Because Buddhists need a region in which Buddhism can flourish. In the same way, a Hindu has every right to aspire for a Hindu nation. That's all. This aspiration is HinduSwaraj. Okay. This is HinduSwaraj. If Hindus have no region where their religion can flourish, Hindu Dharma may perish. It may get, constricted. It may decrease. So, with this responsibility, Hindus aspire for a Hindu nation, which is called as Hindavi Swaraj. The word Hindavi Swaraj is used by the pillars of Hindu Swaraj. Who are they? Veera Shivaji, his father Shahaji. In their conversations and the letters, we can see the word Hindavi Suraj. I think this is the starting point of the word Hindu Swaraj. Okay. This term, I'm talking about the term, I'm not talking about the concept. Concept is very early, probably Samudragupta, Vikramaditya, Chandragupta Maurya, very early. But the word Hindu Swaraj, for your understanding, I gave it as Hindu Swaraj. In Marathi, it is called as Hindavi Swaraj. Okay. And they are the frontiers, Shivaji or Samartha Ramdas, they are the frontiers of this concept. And we also have another word. What is that? Hindutva. What is this Hindutva? I have explained sufficiently what is Hindu and what is Hindu Dharma. Okay. Virtue leads to joy, and wickedness leads to misery. If these are the two tenets, then it clearly means Hindu Dharma is nothing but Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. Hindu Dharma is universal welfare. Again, universal welfare means unity in diversity. People of different faiths, different worships, different rituals can remain in their own worships, rituals, and faiths without any hindrance. This is the definition of Hindu Dharma. And this is unity in diversity. Okay. Say, long back Christians came to India from Syria. They were thrown out. For the first time, they come to India. In Kerala, they lived safely. This is an example. Another example, when Jews were thrown out from Israel, persecuted, they came to Cochin in India. They lived safely, they live safely. When Israel was got back, the Indian Jews did not go back. They said, we feel this to be absolutely fine. Let us continue in India. From Israel, an announcement came. Okay, all Israelis can come back to Israel. We have got back Israel. But Indian Jews remained in Cochin, and they are remaining in Cochin as Jews. As Jews. They are very safe. They are very happy. Swami Vivekananda quotes it. You know, in his Chicago address. In his Chicago address, we all know the first address. Brothers and sisters of United States of America. After that, what he said, we don't know. After that, he says, probably that lecture can define Hinduism. There he says, I thank in the name of the mother of all religions. This is how it starts. And we belong to the nation which is tolerant, not only tolerant, but also accepting. Okay? There he quotes, Jews came from Israel, they are very happy in India, in Cochin. And he also quotes, Persians who came from Persia, persecuted, they are very happy, Zoroastrians, and probably the richest persons of India, like Tata, they are from this. In all fields, they are, even in politics, in Hindutva politics, you see a Zoroastrian, Smriti Irani. Okay? Zoroastrians are there in various fields, and they are safe. They are happy in India, not in Persia, up to our times. Persians are happy in India. Interesting. Those who practice Persian culture are happy in India, not in Persia. It's a fact. While Swami Vivekananda was talking about all these things, another example was not there. Therefore, he did not quote. Now let me quote. The great Dalai Lama, the Buddhist pontiff, when he was excommunicated or persecuted from his own land, Tibet, he could have gone to some Buddhist land like Sri Lanka or Thailand or that great Japan, which is more developed than India. But he preferred to come and stay in a Hindu land. I don't know why. Must have felt he is more comfortable in India than any other country. Please understand. So, while we see all these things, unity in diversity is not just in theory or not just in scriptures like Rigveda here, but in practice. Starting from Rigveda up to our great contemporary saints of Hindu Dharma, we are truly and truly standing for this unity in diversity. This is Hindu Dharma, Hinduism, Hindu culture. And what is Hindutva? To safeguard this unity in diversity, to safeguard this pluralism, to give a security to the pluralism when it is getting attacked by the, what to say, monopots. I don't know how to call. I'm calling it as monopots. Okay. This giving security, a passion to give that security, is Hindutva. Okay. Due to that passion only, this pluralism is continuing to exist in India. The same kind of pluralism was existing in various places like Egypt or Greece, and those cultures had gone long back because the passion to give security, to sacrifice or dedicate the whole life, to give security to this pluralism, to sacrifice anything and everything to give security to this pluralism is not as great in Greece or Egypt as found in India, which is called as Hindutva. And regarding this Hindutva, if you see the great heroes like Shivaji or Maharana Pratap Singh or Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai, or even before them like Vikramaditya or Samudragupta or Chandragupta Maurya, and in south you see the great kings and women like Velu Nachiyar or the great Pandya kings or Chola kings, and these kings and Vijayanagara kings, Krishnadevaraya, if you see in all of them, in these heroes and the saints who guided them, in all of them you see the dedication, matchless dedication, matchless sacrifice, tremendous sacrifice, a passion to secure this kind of pluralism, this kind of unity in diversity. Okay. Multiplicity of paths, and you may call it as different faiths, different philosophies and discussions regarding those philosophies. All these things should exist. And there were saints and heroes who could sacrifice their whole life to secure this multiplicity. Okay. Very great saints like Vidyaranya or Vyasaraya and their followers like Bukkaraya and Krishadevaraya, Chandragupta Maurya, hero, Saint Chanakya. This saint hero parampara is continuing. Among that saint hero parampara, in my view, this Samartha Shivaji combination is the best. Okay. Shivaji, in my view, whether others accept it or not, Shivaji is the Samashti Swarupa. Samashti Swarupa. He contains in him all the heroes who were existing before him. He is the Samashti Swarupa of Krishadevaraya, Ramaraya, Chandragupta Maurya, Vikramaditya, Maharana Pratap Singh. He has in him all. He is complete in that sense. In various wars he fought. All those wars are not a selfish war. Again, I am telling you, these wars were fought to secure the multiplicity found in the nation India. Okay. And in these wars, he did not get defeated in any war. Always he was victorious, except one or two, where by crook or nook he was imprisoned. And again he came out of it. Okay. Always he defeated, he never got defeated. That was the spirit of Shivaji. And in such kind of triumph, one of the most important contributors is Samartha Ramdas. Okay. You can't neglect him. There are some historians who wish to disassociate Shivaji from Samartha Ramdas. Just brushing, just telling. See, the connection of Samartha Ramdas and Shivaji, these are all just hearsay stories. No, never. Never. You can't conclude like that. You can't conclude like that. Because we have first-hand evidences, primary sources that connect Shivaji and Samartha. Let me tell you a simple primary evidence. Samartha Ramdas in his life lived in the fort of Shivaji. What can be a better primary evidence than this? What's that fort? Yes, Sajjangarh. It's called as Barali Fort. ShivajiMaharaj dedicated this fort to Samartha Ramdas and requested Samartha Ramdas to run this fort as an ashram. To my knowledge, no saint ran an ashram in a king's fort. Okay. Barali Fort, Shivaji's fort. Samartha Ramdas named it as Sajjangarh. Mahipati, you know Mahipati? Huh? A hagiographer, a very great writer, the author of Dasa Vijayam. Okay. He is also well known for Bhakta Vijayam. Bhakta Vijayam is about all Varkari saints mainly. Dasa Vijayam is about the life history of Samartha Ramdas. In Dasa Vijayam he says, who Mahipati, opening ceremony of this Sajjangarh was conducted. Samartha Ramdas, for this opening ceremony, invited Sant Tukaram. He writes. When I'm telling this, goosebump comes. Because why he invited Tukaram? That is also told by Mahipati. On those days, some persons like Rameshwar Bhatt from the Orthodox priest circle did not accept Tukaram. Okay. Mahipati clearly mentions it. Knowing that Samartha Ramdas is inviting Sant Tukaram to give him recognition. Okay. Because Samartha Ramdas was a stalwart of orthodoxy on those days. Okay. To give recognition to Sant Tukaram in Orthodox. He may be extremely popular, definitely more popular than Samartha Ramdas. No doubt in it. But in orthodoxy circle, okay, to give him recognition, Samartha Ramdas invites Sant Tukaram to open Sajjangat. There is a very interesting episode recorded by Mahipati. Sant Tukaram was not a Brahmin. Samartha Ramdas was Brahmin of Brahmins with all his anushtanas. And he is opening a matha for which he is inviting Sant Tukaram. He wants to show this as a lesson to the world. That's how Mahipati records it. And you see, let me give some primary sources for Samartha's connection with Shivaji. Before going to the primary sources, let me tell you, whatever some historians call as just hearsay stories and disassociate those stories from the mainstream history of Shivaji and Samartha Ramdas. See, they are not just hearsay stories. Even if you take them as myth, most of them were written by Mahipati, who came just after 30 years of Shivaji and Samartha Ramdas. Okay. Therefore, if you take them as myth in a hagiography, even there, these myths cannot be built up upon just sky. Please understand. Nerupullama pohayadu. You can't see smoke without fire. So, there must be a very strong historical fact behind the hagiographical stories written by Mahipati. That's very important. Let me, for a few minutes, because I have taken much of time, in few minutes I will just sum up the primary sources available. Regarding hagiography, I dealt. The same way there are several other hagiographies like Mahipati. The direct disciple of Samartha Ramdas, his book is Ramadasi Bakar, written by Meru Swami, one who introduced Harikirtan in Tamil Nadu for the first time, this Meru Swami. That's why in Harikirtan we have all Ramdas compositions. Ramadasam Hane, Kayamala Une, even in Tamil Nadu we sing these things. Okay. So, that Meru Swami wrote a book named Ramadasi Bakar, direct disciple of Samartha Ramdas, who talks about the connection of Shivaji and Samartha. And Samartha Ramdas' disciple is Venabhai. Have you heard of this name? Very important name. She was well known for Harikirtan. She was a young widow. Some people came and complained to Ramdas Maharaj, how a widow and also a woman can do Harikirtan and all. What qualification she has to do Harikirtan? Why did you initiate him in Harikirtan? When Samartha Ramdas heard it, he went a step ahead and said, she is not only a Harikirtan Kathakar, I shall make him a Matadishwara. In Miraj Mat of Samartha Ramdas, Bena Bhai is the chief, pontiff. And it's a quiz question. Tell me the first woman Matadipati. If someone asks this question, you can tell Bena Bhai. In the world, the first woman Matadipati is Venabhai. Samartha Ramdas instructs her to be the Mathadhishwari of that Miraj Math. Miraj Math is still there. Coming back to the point, Venabhai had a disciple called Giridhar. He wrote a book named Samartha Pratap. It's also a biography of Samartha Ramdas, which very much talks about the Shivaji Ramdas connection. See, these are all contemporaries of Ramdas Maharaj. We need to understand. Therefore, we can't take all these things as hearsay stories. And above all, even these things I take only as secondary references. We can go directly and hit the point. Let me talk about some primary sources. Shivaji's writing. There is one Sarkar, government Patra. It is preserved up to our times, where you have Shivaji's Mudra. There clearly it is mentioned, my Suraj has grown due to the grace of Ramachandra residing in the temple of Chafal. And therefore, I am giving all these grants for Rama temple. This is what he writes. He will not write his direct contact with Samartha Ramdas for some vital reasons. Chafal Ramachandra means Samartha Ramdas because Chafal is the headquarters of Samartha tradition. And in Chafal, Samartha Ramdas lived for some 35 years. He installed the drama. He brought the drama from the depth of Krishna river and installed there in the temple. And Shivaji is talking about the Chafal Rama. He will not openly tell Samartha is my guru. He will not tell. It was kept as a secret on those days. Neither Samartha wanted any glory. And Shivaji also was little afraid. If it is known to the outside world, then my enemies will attack my guru. Okay. That was kept as confidential. Therefore, Shivaji never talks about it directly. Only after Samartha Ramdas, after a few years, this connection got revealed in his hagiographies. Not only in hagiographies, even in the fag end of Shivaji's life and Samartha's life. Fag end of their life. When gradually people started to understand their connection, it is Shivaji who shifted the headquarters of Samartha tradition from Chafal to Sajjangad. Sajjangad is a fort where Ramdas can have security. My guru needs a security. That is what he felt. Therefore, he shifted his guru from Chafal to Sajjangad in his fort. These are all very important things we need to understand. And above all, Samartha Ramdas has connection with Tamil Nadu. Okay. When Shivaji's younger brother, ShivajiMaharaj, he conquered Tanjore from the Nayaka kings. He established his kingdom there. He started to rule Tamil Nadu, and from that Maratha rule starts. And in that lineage comes great kings like Sharaboji, who is called as second Rajaraja Chola. All those things happen. And their contribution is wonderful. Maratha king's contribution in Tanjavur. When Venkoji started to rule Tanjore, he requested Ramdas to come and stay at Tanjore. Samartha Ramdas came to Tanjore and he established several mathas with the help of the king, and these maths are still existing in Tanjore. Because of his Tanjore connection only, Samartha Ramdas took some ragas of Karnataka Sangeeta. See, no other Maratha saint takes Karnataka Sangeeta raga in Abhang. But Samartha Abhang has Karnataka Sangeeta ragas because of his Tanjore connection. These are all very interesting things. Okay. So, Venkoji's connection with Samartha Ramdas, Shivaji's connection with Samartha Ramdas, these things cannot be denied. And when you go to Samartha literature, Samartha Sahitya, 2 more minutes, because this is my passion. If I take this, I said it will run for 10 days. Every day, 2.5 hours are required. Okay. Samartha Ramdas is my guru. I can talk about my guru on and on and on. And when you come to this, Samartha Ramdas connection with Shivaji's family, it doesn't stop with Shivaji or Venkoji. A very important disciple of Samartha Ramdas is Ramachandra Pant. When Shivaji left his mortal body with his guru, both left this mortal world in the same year. Okay? Aurangzeb resolved to attack Maratha Empire. There was a 25 years Maratha-Mughal war. In first 4 or 5 years, it appeared that Marathas are getting defeated because Shivaji's first son Sambhaji died in Sambhaji Nagar. But Aurangzeb thought, okay, center has gone. Who is center? Shivaji. And I think that after Shivaji, Sambhaji is a center, and he also has gone. Now there is no center. I will capture the whole of Marathas. He resolved. But till the death of Aurangzeb, he couldn't find out what is the center of Maratha army. Maratha army's only one center is Dharma. That is Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. It doesn't have any other center. This is the design by Samartha Ramdas for Maratha army. Therefore, Tarabhai, Kolhasura Bhayankari, Kolhapur Mahalakshmi's avatar, they say. The daughter-in-law of Shivaji, okay, and the daughter of the commander-in-chief of Shivaji, Chhatrapati Rajaram's wife. Under her guidance, a huge war was conducted where Aurangzeb was thoroughly defeated. In 1706, Aurangzeb was conquered in Aurangabad. For last 25 years, he never returned to Delhi at all. He continued his fight with this Maratha army. Finally, he left his body in Aurangabad. 1706, I think. 1706 or 1707, I am not remembering. Okay. Such a wonderful war the whole Maratha army was conducting, not only in Maharashtra, they all joined. From Tamil Nadu, Venkoji's sons joined. There is one Ramayana commentary, Valmiki Ramayana commentary, named Dharma Kuta. Okay. In that commentary, first 30 verses talk about this war, Mughal Maratha war, and how Tanjore king contributed in it. Okay. And Tanjore king, Venkoji's son, again his name is Shahaji, he requested Dharma Kuta writer to write a commentary based on Dharma. Okay. There are Shaivite commentaries, there are Vaishnavite commentaries for Valmiki Ramayana. Based on Dharma, you write a commentary, he requested. So this book came where he mentions the war happened. Chhatrapati Rajaram and Chhatrapati Sambhaji, they together fought with Aurangzeb. It's a very long history. The methods they adopted are called as guerrilla warfare, you know. Tarabai, after all this war, requested Sri Ramachandra Pant, the disciple of Samartha Ramdas, to write a book on guerrilla warfare. He is called as Maharashtra Chanakya. He wrote that book, and this book was kept as a secret in Maratha army. You know that book? What's the name of that book? Sorry? No. is called as Agyapatri. In fact, later when they wanted to print that book, they found the copy preserved in Samartha Ramdas Ashram in Dhule. There is a place called Dhule in Maharashtra. In a Samartha Ashram it was found. See Samartha's contribution in all these things. And in Das Bodh, there are separate chapters dedicated. Das Bodh was a matchless magnum opus of Samartha Ramdas, in which separate chapters are dedicated only to Shivaji. How government has to run. Samartha gives messages for Shivaji. Okay. And that is a primary reference. When Shivaji was arrested by Aurangzeb, Samartha Ramdas is making a Tulaja Bhavani Stuti. 10 shlokas are there. There he prays, "Oh Mother Tulaja Bhavani, please bring Shivaji out of the prison of Aurangzeb." This is also a primary reference. And Samartha Ramdas, even though Shivaji is his disciple, in a particular context, he did not see Shivaji as his disciple. He saw ShivajiMaharaj as his king, taking himself to be a citizen, a responsible citizen. He saw Shivaji as a king, and he wrote Shivastuti, which is also very famous, in praise of ShivajiMaharaj. These things can definitely establish, these are all the primary sources by which you can understand the relationship of Shivaji and Samartha Ramdas. Above all, the hagiography of Mahipati, both Bhakta Vijayam and Das Vijayam, tell it is Samartha Ramdas who sent Shivaji to Sant Tukaram. So it is recorded in hagiography. But in Vaishnav Ved, when you go through Tukaram's Abhang, Tukaram instructs Shivaji to adore Samartha Ramdas. A very famous Abhang, Raya Chhatrapati Aikave Vachana, that Abhang. This is Abhang written for Shivaji by Sant Tukaram. There he says, I think Tukaram is the first person to call Samartha Ramdas as Hanuman's incarnation. Okay. Maruti Avatara Swami Pragatila, he says. Samartha Ramdas is the avatar of Maruti. Therefore, you adore him. And you will get to triumph for Dharma. This is what he says. So, these are all the primary sources by which we can understand the connection of Samartha Ramdas and Shivaji. Of course, it will go on and on. With this, today let us conclude. Dhanyavad.